Good.
Make sure.
I was just going to say, Doug, we're going to record this so there's folks that can't be here today will be
It's
able to
asking
enjoy
me
it
something.
later. So if everyone can mute your phone, and we're going to pass it over to our two MCs.
Hold on, now we got a
They taking
problem.
it off.
Hold on a
Oh,
second.
there we go.
Hold on a
There's our
second.
shirts. Yep, our shirts.
No, we don't.
All right, so if everybody mutes themselves, that would be great. And Chuck, I think you're kicking us off, sir.
All right.
Can somebody mute me, please?
Y'all ready? Are y'all ready?
Yes.
All right. My name is Chuck Struther. I am one of your MCs for today. Welcome to Choices 22 to 22. I am back as one of your MCs. We will be seeing all Zooms. Let's hope in 223 that we can meet in person. I want to now, I like to invite my co-MC, PJ.
Thank you, Chuck. My name is PJ Swan, and I am happy to be a co-MC with Chuck again this year. Yes, welcome to Choices 2022. Our theme is Everyday. Choices, Everyday Heroes. Before we get started, I would like to introduce Dina Hernandez from SCDD North Valley Hills and the Choices Planning team to tell us about today.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Chuck and PJ. The Choices Committee is so very happy you two agreed to help us out again this year. We must also do a really big thank you for a guy named Doug Bonet from VMRC. Doug has been our technical skills expert and has helped us last year and again this year, and the Choices Committee could not have pulled this off without Doug's help. So thank you, Doug. As PJ says, I'm Dina number one, or Dina number two. Dina number one and Dina number three are also with us today. So Choices 2022 will be a little bit different. Similar to last year, it's gonna be only 2 hours. It's free. Everyone got a cool t-shirt, and we will have tributes to those we lost during COVID-19 pandemic. And it will also celebrate the fighting spirit and positive change that happened for so many people. We are all heroes today. Since we had to cancel our 2022 conference, we will celebrate our t-shirt, poster, and video contest winners, and all our keynote speakers from 2022 will present today. Thank you so much for being here with us. The Choices Committee hopes to be in person for our 2023 conference. And I just want to say hats off to all the Choices Committee for their hard work. And I did just notice Tanya Morowitz, my Deputy Director from the State Council, my boss, so everyone be nice, is here today. So thank you, Tanya, for joining us and supporting Choices. Now back to you, Chuck.
Thank you, Dina. All right, let me get this together. Okay. We want to now to like the heroes for our t-shirts and posters and videos and winners. We will see the videos during the conference today. Back to PJ and to announce the posters and t-shirts and heroes honoring mentions and t-shirt winners.
We will start with our poster winner. The winner is Bogdan T-S-Y-M-B-A-L.
Yay!
Mhm.
We have 5 honorable mentions for the t-shirt contest. We did in 2020. The honorable mentions are Jessica Flores, Christopher Galizia, Zamba Meek, Eddie Torres, Tommy Van Goo. And our t-shirt winner is Hall Ross Campbell. Congratulations to all. Back to Chuck to announce the video winners.
All right. We have 3 winners. We will each today. Winners are Living Life by PCS. I Need a Job by PCS. We have Choices to Be Our Heroes by PCS TNT. Living, drawing classes. I want now. I like to introduce Tony Anderson, VMRC.
Hey, Chuck.
What's up, my
It's good to
brother?
see you, my brother.
It is so
Oh,
long and
man.
it's been a while since I've seen you.
It's
And-
great to see everybody today. Oh, this is nice. And then I heard Tina say that we're really gonna do everything we can to get together next year. So
Mhm.
I'm excited for that too. So we can get some dancing going on. I can show you my moves. I want to thank everybody for being here, enjoying this time together. Even though it's remote, it's time together.
Dina.
Can you hear me? Okay. All right. I just want to say a few words. I understand I have an hour and a half to speak. That's not correct understanding. Okay. All right. I'll behave. So I've got about 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes real quick. I just wanted to say a few things. If you think about this time last year, I mean, we've been doing this for 2 years now, but this time last year, the Valley Mountain Regional Center, with the help of a lot of you and community partners, we were holding vaccine clinics. So that was our whole focus, right? Everything was about trying to get this tool to everybody, trying to do everything possible to take advantage of this opportunity and to arm ourselves with the most powerful protection that we could come up with so far. Like, we had been hunkered down for such a long time, and we practiced our precautions, and we did our masks, and we were doing our hand sanitizers, and even gowns and everything else that you can think of. We were doing it. We were doing all the things that we needed to do to keep us going, to beat this. Right? It was hard. And for many of us, it was really hard, and it was lonely for some of us at different times, and boring for a lot of us at other times. But that's what we did. This time last year, the Valley Mountain Regional Center, we published our health advisory number 64. And at that time, only about 25% of our 10,000 people on our list were opening it and reading it, but still, you figure that was pretty good. But just today, I think we published number 110, and now we've got like almost half of everybody is opening it and reading it. So it could be because we changed a lot of it too. We didn't just we had to focus always on COVID before. Now we can all focus on more things that are going on in our communities, things that we can participate in. We can engage with our friends and be with our friends in community events now. And in different settings, some settings we might still have to wear a mask sometimes or not in others, but now we're just able to go through this, and we're flexible people now. This time last year, we were starting to send service coordinators out into the community for the first time in a long time to do face-to-face meetings. And now they can have them on a regular basis whenever we're at the right thresholds. So we're putting together mitigation plans. I don't know if you ever heard about those, but they were starting those and getting them approved so that they could start to get people back. And this was a year ago. And then we faced incredible uncertainty. You all did this. So you, our community of self-advocates, you've done something so far that no one probably realized you could do. And maybe a lot of you didn't realize you could do it either. During this time, you faced this uncertainty, major changes to your lifestyle, to your lives, and you endured. You endured that. You endured a time when this life-threatening virus scared everyone, not just us, everyone. But you stayed the course. You did everything you needed to do, and you stayed the course, and you're here today. And you got vaccinated at a rate that reached the second highest in the state for all the regional centers. So you did that. You guys came forward and you said, let's take care of business. And so for our adults, we're ranked the second highest in the state, and that we did that early on, and you did that early on, and we're still ranked the second highest out of all the regional centers. And even though we started off as the worst area of all the regional centers for getting the virus, because of everything you've done, we have now dropped significantly. And now we're no longer an outlier. They don't look at Valley Mountain area anymore. They know that we have turned the corner. We're doing a lot to protect people. It still happens, but we're not an outlier. And that's because of everything that you do. So many of you become experts in remote meetings and trainings. Who would have thought you would have been an expert in remote meetings and trainings? That was not part of what we did, but you did it, and you have that skill now, a skill that you didn't have before. Well, and many of you figured out new things to do to keep you interested. I've heard of all kinds of new activities, and so that's good. You know, get outside of that box, and when you get pressured, you just sort of find the ways that make you happy. And that's what you did. And today we have a much different world than we did last year. It's because of all these things that you did. You can now roam around our communities and participate in community activities that you love at a much higher rate. Many places you don't even have to wear a mask, you know, and if you don't want to, but you can still wear it if you want to. Some of you have some really nice looking masks. And then though we're not all the way through, you know, this COVID, so we're all still dealing with it. We all know what to do when the virus rate increases, when it starts to climb up, and we can adjust. And we are now able to do that. We're not afraid. We know what to do. You guys are the ones who have responded in a way that will help us all move forward. And that we know that we can do this. We have already done it, and we're getting better and better. And when the numbers get better, we'll do even more things. So you are in control now. You have all the tools that you need to keep yourself safe when things are risky. And you have the knowledge to know when you can adjust when numbers change. And most importantly, you all have this collective experience all together that lets you know that you can endure each new change in these strange times that we live in today. And it also tells us that you can do so much more than what maybe other people think you can do, or maybe even you think you can do. So this is the biggest challenge that all of us have faced probably in history of most of us, right? This is huge, and you did it, and we're still doing it. And I am just so impressed with the endurance of our community, and just the smiles tell the whole story. So I'm so thankful to all of you for giving me this chance to talk a little bit. And I'm going to get a chance to say that the next video one is coming up next, I think. So Video one is on its way and you're going to enjoy video one. And again, thank you to everybody for being the inspiration that we all need. Thank you.
I wake up and I'm feeling fine. Look at the clock and it's 9:30. Now I'm ready to start my day. Up in the clouds and I'm on my way. I'm gonna start an adventure, try something new. Instead of eating a hamburger, I'm making stew. I'm living my life and I'm feeling alright. Keeping my head up high. Keeping my head up high. I'm having a blast. Let's make it last. Hoping my day doesn't pass too fast. I wanna sing with the band, tour the land. Come with me and I'll hold your hand. I'm gonna start an adventure, try something new. Make a few calls and hang out with my crew. We're living our lives and we're feeling alright. Keeping our heads up high. Keeping our heads up high. I used to struggle with anxiety. I used to feel so all alone. Then I became part of society. No more fear of the unknown. I'm gonna start an adventure, try something new. Make a few calls and hang out with my crew. We're living our lives and we're feeling alright. Keeping our heads up high. Keeping our heads up high. I'm gonna start an adventure, try something new. Make a few calls and hang out with my crew. We're living our lives and we're feeling alright. Keeping our heads up high. Keeping our heads up high. Keeping our heads up high.
Like photos.
You're up, PJ.
Thank you, Nita. Thank you, Tony Anderson, for being with us today. And thank you to VMRC for all the hard work for helping people be safe during COVID-19. Great to see the first video. We are now going to have our first speaker. Please welcome Emily Grande.
And I guess I go to the next slide, Doug. So my name is Emily Grunder. Thank you, PJ, for that introduction. My name is Emily Grunder, and I was born in 1978, and these are two things that were also that came out in 2008. I'm sorry, in 1978. The movie Grease and the Pride flag, which makes perfect sense for me because I love musicals, and the Pride flag is very important to me. Next. So a little bit about me. I live at home with my parents, Eric and Janet. My parents are both retired. My mom was a teacher and my dad was a journalist for over 40 years. I have one sibling, my sister, Sarah. She lives on Long Island, New York, with her husband, Sean. They have one son, James, my nephew, who is 7. My sister and brother-in-law are both college history professors. Next slide. Places I've lived. So I was born in Yuba City in 1978, and we moved to Greenville, Mississippi. It was interesting, in 1980, and we moved back to California in 1984, 85-ish, and we lived in Whittier, which is down in Los Angeles, California, before finally moving back up to Northern California, here to Stockton. So I have a syndrome called 22q deletion syndrome, and a lot of people haven't heard of it, but it's actually pretty common. And so what is 22q deletion syndrome? According to the Family Foundation website, 22q deletion is a disorder caused by a small missing piece of the 22nd chromosome. This tiny portion of chromosome 22 can affect every system in the human body, and it does. So these are just a few of what I have dealt with and dealing with. So I've had heart surgeries, I've had upper body strength because of my heart surgeries. I wear hearing aids. I had a speech impairment, and now I'm giving a speech, who would have thunk? Learning difficulties, but I still graduated from high school and did college. A lot of teeth problems, but that's getting better. Hypothyroidism, which just slows your metabolism down, and mental health issues, which I think many people struggle with, not just those of us with 22q. And I think that during COVID, it's really become an issue, and we need to be aware of that with our friends and family members. Anemia. I just had some iron infusions done, and that's where you go and you sit in a chair and they put like a needle in your arm, and you sit there for an hour and you get iron infusions done. And I had 3 of those done, and so far it seems to have worked. Vitamin B12 deficiency, it's kind of hard to describe, but when I was first diagnosed, I had all these little things going on and I couldn't figure out what was going on. And I went to physical therapy, but they referred me back to my doctor because I was kind of weak and stuff. And it turned out my B12 was low. And again, thyroiditis, which is kind of the same as hypothyroidism. I have a lot of food allergies. I can't eat fish, chicken, rice, any kind of nuts. I can eat cashews and pecans. So there's other things that I can't eat, but it's too many to name. I won't bore you with it. And also low calcium levels, which I do have. And but I have a great endocrinologist who helps me with that. And I have also have pre-diabetes, which can happen, but I'm working on that to hopefully reverse it. Next slide. And these are pictures of me growing up with 22q deletion syndrome. Excuse the last picture with me in the 1990s perm. You know, we all had those perms in the 1990s. As you can see, I was pretty happy growing up. So even despite all the challenges I had, I still managed to have a pretty good normal childhood because I had excellent parents and a sister who all made sure I got the services I need growing up. And so yeah, that's why I was able to succeed, because my parents made sure. Next slide. So as I mentioned, I did graduate from high school in 1997. Some of you weren't born yet. Ouch. So, but I had a pretty good experience in high school. And so I was very lucky. I had smart friends, which I still don't get because I don't consider myself that smart. I had friends who got like perfect SAT scores and I'm like, why are you hanging out with me? So that is, next slide. So then I went to San Joaquin Delta College after high school because I didn't really qualify, not qualify, but I wasn't really ready to go to a four-year college. And so I studied and received 2 early childhood education certificates at San Joaquin Delta College way back in 2002. And I worked in early childhood education for a few years, but we just saw the video where that talked about anxiety. Yeah, that gave me a lot of anxiety. I got sick all the time trying to go to work, and my mental health declined, and I'll talk about that soon, but I'm very happy and pleased that I was able to go to college, and I'm only 1 class away from an AA degree, but that class is math. And I've tried a few times but I'm very content and happy with how much I've achieved at the college level since one of the first things a parent who had a child with 22q asked me one time, did you graduate from high school? And that kind of stunned me because I've never thought of not graduating from high school. And like I said earlier, my parents and my sister and my family made sure I got all the help I needed. So, and then she said, you're what gives us hope. And I'm like, no pressure. Next slide. As I mentioned, my mental health started to decline. I had anxiety, panic attacks, depression, bipolar. I was hospitalized in 2003 for 5 days. It was long, 5 days, because I couldn't have my music. Imagine going 5 days without your music. So yeah, let's make sure we're taking care of each other and ourselves. And so next slide. So I first started to have depression in high school. I was about 16 years old. That's the year my Uncle Jimmy died, and that's who my nephew's named after. And so that really didn't help with my depression. And I think I saw one counselor, but it was very short-lived, because when you're 16, it's kind of hard to like tell you, I don't know. But moving on, when I was in my 20s, that's when things got really tough. I hated my 20s. And also what happened in my 20s, I was in my 20s when September 11th, 2001 happened. And that really made my anxiety go through the roof. And I did have a couple friends who were like, why does it make you anxious? And going through this pandemic, I think, has really opened people's eyes to why a national tragedy issue would make people anxious. But because it does affect you, you see the images, you see people just losing their lives, and it's terrible. But so that's what made me anxious. So as I said, I was hospitalized in 2003 because I was suicidal. I will talk. I was later diagnosed with bipolar type 2, and there are 2 types. And I didn't know this until I was diagnosed with bipolar type 2, that there were 2 types. I just thought there was the one. So it is Mental Health Awareness Month. And so it's a good time to mention that there are more than one type of bipolar, and there's a stigma around bipolar. And soon I would realize what part of my depression and anxiety came from, where my anxiety came from, which I will talk about in a minute. So advocating for services. Joy. Okay, next slide. So it took me a while to get services through the Valley Mountain Regional Center because I didn't have a diagnosis of anything before the age of 18. Even though I grew up with all these health issues that I talked about, learning difficulties, and my anxiety, like I said, started in my 20s, and I didn't realize all of these little things were pieces of my 22nd chromosome missing. I mean, it's pretty amazing what the human body can do, because you just a little tiny piece is missing, and then like, huh? So once I found that out, I was happy actually, because I felt like it was a gift to actually get diagnosed and find out why all these things were happening to me. And not very many people get that gift. So when I was finally diagnosed with 22q syndrome, I contacted Valley Mountain Regional Center again, and I stated my case over the phone that I'd had 22q from the time I was born. But because I was born, like I said earlier, in the late 1970s, there wasn't any knowledge or science about it. So I was eventually able to get services, and the rest is history, as they say. So here's the results of advocating for services and why it's important to advocate. Next slide, please. So I miss all these people. I was an advocate for like 6 months. My anxiety was an issue with that, but I'm very proud of 6 months that I stuck it out. I love bowling. I miss bowling and all my bowling friends. And there's Damie and Tim and Cheryl and just a whole bunch of people that I love just dearly. Next slide. So not too long after I started going to person-centered services, which is the day program I go to, I was asked if I was interested in becoming a board member at VMRC, and I was like, sure, why not? Next slide. So Valley Mountain Regional Center Board of Directors, I joined the Board of Directors about 4 years ago. I think it's been longer than that. I think because this was made 2 years ago. So I've been part of the legislative committee. I've been on the consumer service committee. I participated in trainings and presentations, and I was on a panel and a training at the last minute. And then that was something, and I felt very comfortable doing that. And I think that's why I was able to do this today, because telling my story seems almost natural for me, because I'm able to use my voice and so many people aren't. And I've also been a consultant for many of you are familiar with SAC 6. And fun times with the board. I'm sure Tony loves seeing a picture of himself in the presentation. So this is me on the panel, and we are actually starting a new committee, and that was part of the training 2 years ago. That was in 2019, and the committee is going to be inclusion, belonging, equity, and equality, and I'm super excited about that. And over in here is when I was first sworn in, and Mayor Tubbs is like back there in the background. So that was kind of cool. So next slide. And also this happened, Cal OES, California Emergency Office Emergency Services. You might see them on the news sometimes. SEMS Communication Committee was selected. I was selected to be a member of the Governor of California's Office of Emergency Services SEMS board. The SEMS stands for Standardized Emergency Management. And I'm on the Communications Committee, which is rather ironic because I do talk. As a consumer representative, we're making the guidelines more inclusive for all, because the guidelines were made like in 1993. So we're kind of trying to update them. Next slide. And advocating has given me the confidence to be myself no matter what. It can be scary, but I also think it's important. to be myself, because it has opened so many doors for me. So I have been given, like I said, I've given presentations about being a consumer who was part of the LGBTQ plus community. Like I said earlier, I was part of the panel for a training where I talked about openly about who I was for the first time to a room full of strangers, much like today. I was chosen to speak at Choices 2020, but due to COVID, that got postponed, obviously. Next slide. Speaking of COVID, here are some things that I did during COVID. I think a lot of us did Netflix. Spent a lot of time with my family. I got back into painting. My sister's family came and we stayed for a while, and we went to Big Trees. My nephew loved Big Trees. That's my nephew and I playing soccer in the backyard. And I like to do I grow some plants sometime, and I haven't killed any yet, so that's good. Next slide. So this is something I heard. I don't know if anybody is familiar with the organization GLAAD, but I heard this at a GLAAD award show, and somebody said, when you start to live your life authentically, your best life begins. And I couldn't agree with it more. Next slide. Okay, so I decided at the last minute to add a spoken word because apparently I like to make things harder on myself. But I do like to talk, and I think for me, spoken word is a good way for me to also tell my story and be honest and vulnerable. And so here goes. This part, really, oh, no pressure. Because at the end of the day, I just want to advocate, to reach out for my peers, for those who may be going through what I went through, what I'm still going through. I hid a part of me from even myself. So my mental health declined. I didn't reach out. I spiraled downward, and I was feeling worthless and wondering, am I even worth it? I was in denial so long, I never thought that who I really am could be why I was unhappy, angry, anxious, and yes, even suicidal. You see, I was a teen in the 1990s. I didn't reach out because in the 1990s, I felt unseen on TV, unheard on the radio. There was no one like me with my learning difficulties, my differences and disabilities. Most certainly no TV show or program showed a gay teen. So here I am in my mid-40s, finally sharing my story, finally comfortable with reaching out. In 2016, something clicked with me. I finally told people outside my family, and I finally told the general public my truth. That yes, I am gay. My friends and family support me no matter who I love, because I'm now who I am publicly. Opportunities have been amazing. I am one of the lucky ones. If you don't feel safe, reach out. I am here and I see you. Reach out. You are not alone, and I can be there for you like others have been there for me. Reach out. We all deserve to be seen, treated with dignity. I see you and others do too. Reach out. God makes no mistakes. I mean, he did make the rainbow. And the pride flag, as you notice, is the rainbow. No matter who you are, where you live, who your family is, what your abilities are, who you love, love is love. We are not worthless. We are worthy, all worthy of love, of equality, of dignity. So reach out. And thank you. I can breathe again. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Thank you, Emily. I miss you, girl.
I miss you too, Chuck.
And I
Good
just
job,
want to
Emily.
And I just want to tell you one thing. I'm
Uh-oh.
right here for you, girl. So
Thank you,
you know I
Chuck.
love your video.
Thank you. I miss you. I miss going to bowling. That was,
Well, one day, just pray that you will be back.
yep. Thank you.
Emily, you did a really great job. I
Thank you,
really
PJ.
love your stories so much.
Thank
Keep it
you.
up. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So we will now watch the next two videos. I need a job, and we choose to be a hero.
I need a job. Where do I go? Who do I talk to? Does anyone know? I need a job. I want my own place. Pay my rent and keep my space. I need a job. An opportunity to learn responsibility. I need a job. The ability to take care of my family. I went to the employment agency. They assessed my skills by testing me. Am I qualified for anything? I need a job, coach to train and mentor me. I need a job. I need a job. I need a job. Applications, background check, references, a clean drug test, good hygiene, a resume, transportation every day. Need a photo ID card to prove you're who you say you are. The doctor has to say okay. You passed your physical that day. I need a job. I need a job. I need a job. Now I work and I get paid. Learn some skills and learn a trade. I believe I've got it made in the shade. I've got it made. I have a job. I have a job. I have a job. I have a job. I have a job.
Chuck, are we going straight into the next video?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
yes. I was just trying to get this thing going.
Here it comes.
Oh, good, you're good.
Come right up, my friend, you cowboy. There you go. Thank you. Come back now, you hear? be a hero.
I just be hero.
I just be hero. I choose to be a hero.
I'm a hero.
I'm a hero.
I am a hero.
Big hero.
My sensei,
Yep, that'll work too. I'll take it.
my sensei help me up when I'm yawning stuff.
Hey, we shouldn't be doing that, Kyle. You want people to look at you as a little kid or as an adult?
Adult.
Then we can't be yelling and screaming like that. When you do that, it makes you look like you're a little kid, okay?
Okay.
So, yeah, we gotta not do that anymore, okay, buddy? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Pow, pow. I'm my own hero.
What's up, bitch? I love you. And hot beer.
Yes, Manny? What do you call an alligator in the best?
I don't know what.
Anti-investigator. Yeah.
You're up, PJ.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Chuck. Thank you, Dina. I really like those videos. Thank you to everyone who was part of those. I would now like to introduce our next speaker, Jessica Allen.
Jessica, do we have you here? How about Mary Ellen Souza?
Mary Ellen is here. I see her on the list.
Okay, I'm not finding Jessica to spotlight her.
Yes. Can you hear her now?
Can you hear me? Yep,
Yes.
I can hear you.
Okay. Sorry about that. This is the iPad. I'm talking about everyday choices, everyday heroes fighting through anxiety. Next slide, please. About me, I am my own hero. I am independent. I live on my own. I am a little antisocial. I like to be by myself. Hard time being around people. Learning to become my own advocate. Kind of quiet. Creative with food. Former substitute early in childhood assistant teacher. Next slide, please. Finding a career and getting a job. I had a job and I left a long time ago before the pandemic hit. And now anxiety tells me I can't get another job. Next slide, please. But my hero says, yes, I can. Finding a different job can be a good thing. More hours, more pay is always better. I want a bigger job. I use Motherlode Job Training Services, completed intake and aptitude tests to help me best place my next career. Completed Department of Rehab, also known as DOR packet, to get supported employment services. My next career I am thinking about is cooking with food, work, or clerical office work. Next slide, please. Anxiety says, today you are staying at home. But my hero says, do what I like to do. I like to watch TV. My favorite show is Once Upon a Time. I made these candles because COVID has put a lot of people through the dark.
No, I'm muted.
Sorry, Jessica, go ahead.
I made these candles because COVID has been a pretty dark time, and they're battery operated candles with glitter on the base. Anyway, next slide. And I also enjoy being with friends when I get the chance to see them. Next slide. Anxiety says cooking is intimidating. We do all have challenges with the cooking levels and techniques. One of my fears is that the oven is really hot and I don't like it. I don't like touching raw meat. It's kind of gross. Cutting with a knife can be hard. And timing of meal prep is stressful. Next slide. But my hero says cooking could be fun. I really enjoy cooking. I have my own style in the kitchen. I like to be in charge, and I love flavor and presentation. This here on this side is steak and eggs that I like to have for breakfast. Next slide. And then I made some steak and cheese quesadillas. And on the other side, I had made Mediterranean salsa. Next slide. My anxiety says you can't live on your own. Your family will forget about you. But my hero says I can do it. I am ready. And my hero says I'll be better off because I'm an adult. Next slide. Anxiety says you're gonna fail. But my hero says it can be hard, but I can do it. Avoiding the gas station. Soda and coffee are tempting in there. Finding things to do at home in my community. And also arguing about with parents about wants and needs, which has been a struggle during the pandemic because it has been really hard to get out and get a little extra when really nobody else is doing extra and I want extra. Next slide. Stepping out on my own. First, I grew up in my family home where I had a brother and a mom and dad. I used to have a dog, but she passed away, but I still have a cat. I went to college, dorm with a roommate, college house with 2 roommates. Now those 2 had different personalities. The dorm roommate was more independent and can take care of herself. The house with 2 roommates, they were more loud and obnoxious. They were never quiet. They were always needy with everything. And a duplex with 1 roommate who was a little antisocial and a little more quiet. And then I moved back to my home, family home, for a year after college, which was kind of hard because I enjoyed my independence and I didn't want to go back. Then I got lucky and I moved out on my own by myself. I live in a 1-bedroom apartment in the heart of a historical town. Applied for and got Section 8 housing voucher, which reduces your rent, and had been in my apartment for 6 years. Next slide. Balancing home, a program, and social time can be hard. Finding equal in life is not easy because you can go so far left and not enough right. You have to find it somewhere in the middle because it can create behavior, anxiety, stress, and all kinds of other things. And I had to learn during the pandemic how to manage that, and that's been really hard, actually. There have been times where I was lonely and bored, tired of sitting around, ready to get out and do stuff. But because I had to stay home, that's where I had to be, and I had to learn to balance out creativity and be independent enough to survive. Next slide. But my hero is helping me learn coping skills. With my anxiety, I do take medication to help relax, but I also use lavender essential oils. I had to learn meditation. I had to go on walk. Sometimes that means stepping out and going into public places where there are more people instead of sitting around being alone. I also had to learn to interact with people appropriately when I was out. Next slide. Getting around town. Anxiety says someone will hurt you. We all face a little paranoia because sometimes we don't really see what's really gonna happen until you do it. But my hero says, I'll be fine. Taking the bus. It has been quite a challenge to try to take the bus. I wasn't sure about the times and when it would come. And getting a ride from someone I like because it makes it easier and safer. Walking a lot, which is good for reducing anxiety and stress. And in the future, I plan on getting my driver's license, but I am not quite ready yet. Next slide. My advice on how to be your own hero. Self-advocates. Know you can living on your own can be uncomfortable for the first few months or so. You might choose to go to your parents or at a friend's house because living on your own is different and scary. That is totally normal. You can call your support people too. When I was on my own for the first month, I kind of wasn't used to the independence. I always wanted to be back at home. It was hard. I didn't know my entire apartment yet. I had to get to know a few strangers at the time. That was kind of hard too. I had to get to know the manager. I had to get to know the owners. The whole month was a long process, but my parents made me stay there and do it. Next slide. Support your hero, parents and family. These feelings are totally normal for you and your adult son or daughter too. Let them contact you, like texting or calling in case they have questions or concerns, or even just feeling lonely, and give them advice. You are always a part of the hotline. What that means is if there's a problem, you should be able to help them work it out and encourage them to stay strong, and please avoid treating your adult child like a child. That has been really irritating with me and my family lately. Next slide. Guide your hero, facilitators and staff. Guide the person in the right direction. Try to answer the phone. Be encouraging. Please don't leave people hanging because that could be very irritating and causes anxiety. Trust the person you support to do the right thing. Expect that as humans, we all make mistakes. People will learn to own it, which has been kind of hard for a lot of people. Owning what you did is very hard. Avoid overprotecting. Overprotecting can really cause failure, and babying people also causes failure. Next slide. Be your own hero. Choose to remember, you don't have to answer to anybody, which is good. You have the right to do what you want as long as it is legal and safe. But there are rights and responsibilities that come with having rights. Remember the Landlord Act, which is an important thing for all of us. Next slide. Thanks for listening today. I look forward to seeing you in person in 2023.
All right. Thank you, Jessica. I'd like to, what is that? Introduce the next speaker, Tim. All right.
Thank you, Chuck and PJ and the rest of you for being here to support me. My name's Tim Cabral. I am happy to be here today. I would like to talk to you about my self-advocacy heroes and my relationship heroes. And these heroes help me become the hero that I am today in my life. Next slide, please. With that being said, I am very involved in self-advocacy because of a couple of self-advocate leaders that were my heroes to inspire me by getting involved. Next slide, please. The late, great Donald Roberts and his wife, Chrissy, came to Person-Centered Services, PCS, years ago. They talked to us about the California Memorial Project. This project still goes on today. This project is about remembering and honoring those who had disabilities, who had died in the state developmental centers across California. Next slide, please. Donald really inspired me when I heard him speak. He was confident. He inspired people to get involved and speak up for themselves. He said, don't label people. And that really inspired me. And what I mean by that is we don't label each other, we label mason jars. And that stands true to my motto to this day. Next slide, please. Okay. The next hero of mine is Robert Balderrama, who is here today. I met Robert at the Choices Conference in 2006. He and his friend Julie were working as volunteers at the conference. Robert, who is here today, talked to me. He talked about never giving up and always advocate for yourself. It made me cry. His words helped me to not bottle things up but speak up calmly. Next slide, please. Okay. Self-advocacy events. I wanted to share some of the self-advocacy things that I was involved in, or that I am involved in. I was the MC 2 years running. I did it in 2018 and 2019. Next slide, please. I had also participated as being a member of the Self-Advocacy Council 6, which, by the way, I am a SAC 6 representative for Person-Centered Services as we speak today. I'm the actual treasurer. And I got to work with my friend, I got to work with my mentor, Robert, on the SAC 6. I also had a chance to provide presentations with the SAC 6 area meetings, which a lot of my peers are on there. Dina, number one, and Jessica, and quite a few other people, Robert as well. Next slide, please. This here is showing that I was also involved. I attended and worked the annual statewide self-advocacy conference with the Supported Life Institute in Sacramento. It was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun. I met many people from across the state to learn, and I had also learned a lot. I didn't just go there just to have fun there. I was there actually working the conference, as you see. I helped put together the packets. I helped do the raffle. I also was one of the people in one of the other SACs during one of the performances that one of the groups did. Next slide, please. I'm turning the right side. Okay. Self-advocacy, a recap. I am a strong self-advocate and I have been active in many local advocacy groups, and I am a self-advocacy conferences. I have been on the statewide self-advocacy conference planning team, the Valley Mountain Regional Center Board of Directors, Self-Advocacy Council 6, and Person-Centered Services, PCS's People First. I am at that time, for this committee, the Choices Committee, and present right now, I am the actual chairperson of the Choices Institute Committee. I was selected for the new self-determination program, which I was selected. I did try it. I chose to go back to the transition. I transitioned back into the regular services because it wasn't working out for me. However, I did give it a try. So next slide, please. Okay, time to talk about my relationship. Now I would like to talk about my relationship heroes. This picture is me and my love of my life, Cheryl. Next slide, please. Okay. Cheryl and I met at a job we had at VRI in 1993. We dated and fell in love. We lived in a care home together. I proposed to her at a Harrison School dance, August 1st of 1997. We got out our own place here in Stockton. We have been living on our own since 2000. This year will make 22 years total of us living together in our own apartment. This August. Next slide, please. I met Cheryl's family and they accepted me to date their daughter. They became my family, and for that, I consider them my heroes to me. Next slide, please. Okay. This here is our favorite music group. Cheryl and I had a commitment wedding at her mother's house on August 1st, 2010. Keep on Loving You by REO Speedwagon was our song. Cheryl is and will always be my hero in my life because she makes me, with us together, we're strong and we will always stay strong. She taught me how we could respect and trust each other. Next slide, please. Okay. My advice to you to become your own hero in your life is, I believe that the importance for people to speak up for themselves and live the lives they want. Learn from your heroes. You can do it. Never give up. Next slide, please. Get the page. Okay. I I am grateful for my everyday heroes in helping me become a hero of my own life. Thank you for listening to me today. Thank you very much.
Great job, Tim.
Thank you, guys. And I turn it back to, I believe, Chuck or PJ.
PJ.
Back to you, PJ.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you. Thank you, Chuck. Thank you, Tim, and our other speakers. You all did a super job, and congratulations to you all. Thank you, Dina. Number 2, we would now like to introduce Dr. Dave to help us honor those who passed away.
Well,
oh, how do I? Ugh.
Thank you, PJ. I want to
You're
acknowledge.
welcome.
I want to acknowledge PJ and Chuck. What an incredible job at facilitating today's awesome Choices 2022 conference. Thank you both. There's common themes to be a hero, and my comments over the next minute or two will show you the threads of those themes. To be a hero, you have to allow yourself to be vulnerable, and you have to have courage to be vulnerable. PJ, you and Chuck volunteered to step forward and be vulnerable in front of all of us, and that's true courage. So that's heroic. I want to recognize and salute the planning committee of this conference. All of you worked so incredibly hard. You could have said, no, I'm not interested. You took a risk. You leaned in. You were vulnerable, which means all of you showed courage. I also want to thank the work of Dina, who always shows courage and does the right thing when it needs to be done without any need for recognition or applause. Behind the scenes, I also want to applaud Lisa Cully from the Family Resource Network for also supporting families as they go through their moments of vulnerability. That's true courage and heroic as well. And Tony, the administrative staff, and the staff from Valley Mountain Regional Center. Tony, you led our ship through the COVID crisis. You are at the helm of the Regional Center response, as well as your team. So Tony and administrative team from VMRC, for everything you did to forge those alliances with CVS and local vendors to get us vaccines, to get us testing sites, to always keep us informed and to keep our best interest in mind. You were truly vulnerable and courageous, and for that you were heroic. I also want to acknowledge a true hero that I don't know if they get as much recognition as they should. Claire Lizardo, Dr. Claire. Dr. Claire forged connections with public health in all 5 counties and throughout the state to keep us safe, to keep us alive, to keep us well. Dr. Claire, we honor you. We're humbled in your presence, and we are profoundly grateful that you kept our welfare, mental and physical health at the fore of every moment of every day through the crisis. Thank you, Dr. Claire. And what a blessing we had today. We had presentations of personal stories from Emily, Jessica, and Tim. All 3 of you are heroes. You are our heroes. You represent heroes in your leadership. You were all vulnerable to share with us parts of yourself that maybe many of us did not know. You didn't have to do that. You didn't have to accept the invitation, but you did. You were vulnerable, you were courageous, and we find you all very heroic. I have been given the honor again at this year's Choices Conference to help create a space in all of your hearts and a space in all of you to fully remember and love again all those who died and did not make it through COVID with us. Let us not forget last weekend, everyone, last weekend, the 1 millionth person died in our country from COVID. 1 million people. We had DSPs. We had fellow consumers. We had dear friends. We had family members. We had best friends. We had people that we met only once but loved that did not make it. We want to spend just a few moments remembering those in our lives. They will never be forgotten in our hearts, and they will be in our minds forever. First video, Doug, please. And you know, Doug, before you do that, I just want to be corny and say, welcome back. We really, really missed you. We rely on you, not just for this, but for so much more. You are a big part of all of our lives, Doug, and we just want you to know that you're heroic in our lives, and we're glad you're back, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad to be back. And here we go.
I'll always see your face, the corner of your smile, and all the little things no one will ever know. Like it was yesterday, won't ever fade away. Goodbye is just a word I will never say. You will never be forgotten. A million days could pass us by, but what is time? You're just a dream. Oh, I still feel you here with me. You're more than just a memory. Oh, you will never be forgotten. I can't hold your hand or look into your eyes, and when I talk to you, it just echoes in my mind. But if hearts are made of dust, and if we fell from the stars, I look up tonight and know just where you are. You will never be forgotten. A million days could pass us by, but what is time but just a dream? Well, I still feel you here with me. You're more than just a memory. Oh, you will never be forgotten. And the world just keeps on going. It has no way of knowing that you're gone. Oh, you will never be forgotten. A million days could pass us by, but what is time but just a dream? Well, I still feel you here with me. You're more than just a memory. Oh, you will never be forgotten. Forgotten.
found a poem that I think represents all of our feelings, at least I hope. It's called My Best Friend, and it was written by Stacy Selke. And I want to read it slowly so that you all can become mindful. There's a concept, a mental health concept called survivor's guilt, where we feel guilty because we made it. We all made it. You were sick. Many of you were hospitalized. Some of you were very sick. You made it. You made it through. Don't feel or succumb to survivor's guilt. And when you feel it, use it as an invitation to speak to your best friend. I sit around and wonder, and I watch the days go by. I look at all the pictures and ask, why did you have to die? You've always been there for me because you were my best friend. And I was always there for you until the very end. But now it's time to let you go. Your spirit is now free. Even though you won't really be gone, because you know, you'll always live inside me. So when we have to leave you at your resting place, I will always remember your smiling and beautiful face. This is hardly a goodbye, so I won't weep anymore, because now you're in a better place than you ever were before. Even though I will miss you, and I'll think about you every day as I do, you'll always be my best friend. And that's all I have to say to you. The second song in honor of those people.
I wanted you for life, you and me in the wind. I never thought there'd come a time that our story would end. It's hard to understand, but I guess I'll have to try. It's not easy to say goodbye. For all the joy we shared, all that time we had to spend. If I had one wish, I'd want forever back again. To look into your eyes and hold you when you cry. It's not easy to say goodbye. I remember all those great times we had. So many memories, some good, some bad. Yes, and through it all, those memories will last forever. There's peace in where you are. Maybe all I need to know. And if I listen to my heart, I'll hear your laughter once more. And so I have to say, I'm just glad you came my way. It's not easy to say goodbye.
I want to finish with a challenge to all of you. I'd like you to spend some time today to cherish everything and everyone that you have in your life today. Take the time to call, text, email, contact everyone in your life that you love today and tell them how very special they are. We are guaranteed no tomorrows. Share your love with everyone you're connected with today and spend moments talking to those who we lost yesterday. Thank you for the honor of honoring those who we lost during COVID. And let's celebrate the life that we all have in front of us as we transition into a new normal. Chuck, PJ, thank you for asking. Back to you, the true heroes.
Thank you, Dr. Dave. Always the right things, helping so many deal with sadness and grief and loss.
This is the end of our conference. But let us keep celebrating that we are here together today. Is everyone ready to get up and move to the party? I have the honor to introduce the advocates who will entertain us. Thanks to all who came to Choices 2022. We hope you are happy you did. Chuck, thank you so much for having me. And thank you, Dina.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Dina
Thank
number
you,
2.
PJ. Now we are getting ready for the advocates. We thank everyone for allowing us to have this opportunity to share with you all today. Advocates fired up. All right, make sure we're sharing. All right, here we go.
Say that. Julius, not Julius. Man, that is.
Hey guys, ready to party? Ready to party down here? We are. Good question. The advocates are the women and women that advocate for themselves, songs and dance.
Yes, Eddie, I'm glad to be here. How about you?
Woo!
Glad to be here. We're glad to be here. And your neighbors say, I'm glad to be here.
How many got pictures out there? The advocatespecialstocking.com. Party started.
You know, dance if you want to.
That's all, kid. Represent y'all. Southern California. Representing.
You all ready to rock, advocate?
Oh, yeah! It's a final countdown. The final countdown. It's a final countdown. The final countdown. The final countdown. Take it away, ladies.
Tastes like strawberries on a summer evening, and it sounds just like a song. I want more berries, and that's my feeling. It's so wonderful and warm.
Breathe me in, breathe me out. I don't know what to do. I'm just thinking out loud. I don't know if I could. One sugar high, one sugar high, one sugar high, one sugar high, one sugar high.
It's all. There used to be a great tower alone on the sea. You became a light on the dark side of me. Love remains a drug that's the high, not the pill.
What did you
know that when it snows, my eyes become a light, and the light that you shine can't be seen.
Baby,
I can bring to a
kiss from the rose on the grave.
Ooh, but I get a few
strange how it feels.
Yeah. Now that your rose is in bloom,
A light hits the gloom.
on the grave.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I got a question for y'all. You guys ready to get down on it? Yeah. Oh, what you gonna do? You wanna get out? Oh, what you gonna do? You wanna get out? Oh, what you gonna do? You wanna get out? Oh, what you gonna do? You wanna get out? Tell me. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. How you gonna leave this bed on again? Get down on it. Come on in. Get down on it. Baby, baby. Get down on it. Get on it. Get down on it. I said, people, what? Why? Come on. You gotta get on the move. Even if you're burnt to lose. Tell me, baby. How you gonna do me, baby? I want to end. My daddy on the wall. You back up off the wall. How you gonna do me, baby? Take your hand. My daddy on the wall. You back up off the wall. Get down on it. 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 You're good. Get down on it. Get down on it. Come on in. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. You gotta feel it. Get down on it. What you gonna do? If you wanna get it out, what you gonna do? Get your back up off the wall. Dance. Get your back up off the wall. Dance. Get down on it. Come on in. Get down on it. Baby, baby. Get down on it. You're feeling. Get down on it. Get down on it. Come on in. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. You're feeling. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down there. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get on it. Get down on it. Come on in. Get down on it. Come on in. Get down on it. Little baby. Get down on it. Come on in. Get down on it.
On the road, switch.
Ladies and
There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce Thunder Wolf by God Foot.
"3:30 in the morning, not a soul inside. The city's looking like a ghost town on a moonlit summer night. Raindrops on the windshield, there's a storm.
PJ, stay back.
He's heading back from somewhere that he never should have been. And the thunder rolls. And the thunder rolls. Every light is burning in a house across town. She's pacing by the telephone in her faded flannel gown, asking for a miracle, hoping she's not right, praying it's the weather that's kept them out all night. And the thunder rolls. Thunder rolls. The thunder rolls. And the lights night. Another love grows cold on a sleepless night. As the storm goes on,
how y'all doing out there? How come you missed Disney lost everybody in the world? I got a song for you guys.
Family, I'll fulfill your dreams. In the future, can't wait to see if you open up the gates for me. Reminisce sometime. The night that you took my friend. Try to black it out, but it plays again. When it's real, feeling's hard to conceal. Can't imagine all the pain I feel. Give anything to hear half your breath. I know you're still living. Every step I take, every move I take,
Every move. You.
Life after death.
I do.
Yeah.
Been up since the crack of dawn, just trying to get paid. Been hotter than 100 suns, I can't find no shade. Just 2 more rows and I'm good to go. Yeah, I'm shutting this tractor down. Give me a half an hour for a shave and a shower, and I'll be outside your house. Might have a little dirt on my boots, but I'm taking you uptown tonight. Might have a little mud on my wheels, but they gonna shine with you up inside. Gonna hit the club, gonna cut a rug, burn it up like neon lights. Might have a little dirt on my boots, but we're gonna dance the dust right off them tonight. Got a little dirt on my boots. Hard as I worked all day, I'm gonna work harder loving on you. Spin you all over that dance floor, right out of them high heel shoes. And when you're ready to quit, baby, we can slip right out of that barroom door. And when I take you home, don't worry, babe, I'm gonna kick 'em off on the porch. Might have a little dirt on my boots, but I'm taking you uptown tonight. Might have a little mud on my wheels, but they gonna shine with you up inside. Gonna hit the club, gonna cut a rug, burn it up like neon lights. Might have a little dirt on my boots, but we're gonna dance the dust right off them tonight. Got a little dirt on my boots. A little dirty dancing, a blue collar romancing. I can get cleaned up if you ask me, but I can only get so fancy. Got a little dirt on my boots, but I'm taking you uptown tonight. Might have a little mud on my wheels, but they gonna shine with you up inside. Gonna hit the club, gonna cut a rug, burn it up like neon lights. Might have a little dirt on my boots, but we're gonna dance the dust right off them tonight.
What is he doing? There he is.
It's Smiley.
started to believe I'd never find anyone. Doubted, tried to convince me to give in. Said you can't win. But one day the sun came shining through. The rain had stopped and the skies were blue. And oh, what a revelation to see. Someone was saying, I loved you to me. On one in a million chance of a lifetime, and life showed compassion and sent to me a stroke of love all to you. A one in a million you. I was a lonely man with empty arms to fill. Then I found a piece of happiness to call my own. And life is worth the living again. For to love you to me is to live. Oh, one in a million chance of a lifetime, and life showed compassion and sent to me a stroke of love called you. A one in a million you. A one in a million chance of a lifetime, and life showed compassion and sent to me a stroke of love called you. One in a million you. A one in a million. You. Kamula. Kamula.
We want to thank Choices for inviting us out to this entertainment for you all. And we look forward to seeing you next year. We thank you all for everything. Sorry for the difficulties that we're having, but we're trying to do our best that we could while it's still on Zoom. So we
Great
thank you all for
job.
everything.
I won't be here next year for People Toys.
Great job, advocates. You're awesome. Woo!
This will be my last one.
This will be your last one. Okay, well, we'll see you another time.
Cause I'm gonna be moving to Santa Rosa, and they don't have they don't have DMRC over there.
Well, you gotta get
They
the
do, but it's a
advocates to
different
come out
name.
there then. All right, bye everyone.
Great job.
Bye, everyone. Great job.
Hi, everybody.
Bye, PJ.
Great job, everybody.
Peace.
PJ. Diella. Hey.
Bye, Chuck.
All right. Good job,
What
Chuck.
up?
Hi, guys. Great job. Hi, everybody.
Good job, Chuck. How you doing? Wow, awesome.
Choices 2022. Right now.
We tore it up this year.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Good job.
Good job, Tim.
Thank you.
Great job. Great
Thank you,
job,
Robert.
everybody.
Thank you,
Hi,
everybody.
Robert.
Good job.
Hey.
Good job, everybody.
Good job,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Great job.
Hey, Jim.
Hi.
Bye, everybody from the YTP. Bye-bye.
Everybody have a great day.
You too.
Good job, everybody.
Bye.
You too.
Bye, Chuck.
Bye, Robert.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Good job, Tim.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody. Great job, Tim.
Thank you, everybody.
Good job, Chuck and PJ.
Hey.
You have not.
Wow.
I love that lady.
I have a question for Tony. Just kidding.
You
Bye,
guys are
everybody.
funny. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Be right back.
Okay.
Bye, Doug.
Bye, everybody. I'm glad today.
Bye, Pam. All right.
Everyone is on. We don't know how to get it off.
Bye, Yuli.
Bye. I don't know how to get out.
Oh, you don't know how to get out? Doug will take us out. Don't worry.
Are we good? Should I keep it open for a few more minutes or?
Turn it off, Doug.
All right. See you guys.
Thanks,
Everyone have a
Doug.
great
You
weekend.
guys have a
Thank
good
you.
day. Happy Friday.